Here to talk about Dunn Knives. I've done a video on this Dunn knife here that I have, and I'd fixed a little part on the edge. I don't want people to think I don't like Dunn Knives, because I do like them. They're a mom and pop organization, a mom and pop company, literally. A man and his wife run the company, make all the knives, do everything. Just two employees, a man and his wife. They're down in Intercession City, Florida. They used to be in Rossville, Kansas. That's where I got this knife from. Talk about the sheath real quick first. It came with this leather sheath, really thick leather on it, really heavy stitching, made right there by Dunn, as far as I know. At least they make their sheaths now. It's got a hole in the back to drain out. Never had a problem with this sheath. It is a pouch style sheath with no kind of clasp up here, and so you could have a knife in a sheath like that get a little loose, but it's really handy for pulling it out, kind of like a scabbard type thing. You just have to watch out if you're walking in the brush a whole lot. You might want to hook this lanyard around something or do whatever in case it pulled out in the brush, but I've never had a problem with it. Went through the brush and everything. Anyway, good solid leather, came treated with a wax coating of some kind, Obenov's or something similar to that. Good sheath for what it is. Now the knives, they come in the S30V steel, and this S30V is 59 to 60 Rockwell, and it's heat treated by Dunn right there in their facility. They don't send their steel out to be treated by anybody else. They treat it the way they want it, and everything done the way they want it right in there. So S30V holds the edge well. It's real good for a hunting steel. I'd said before I wasn't sure what I think about it, and mainly that's based on reports. People say S30V was a little bit chippy, but I think that's more for bushcrafting. This is hunting knife, and Dunn knives are hunting style blades. They don't really make a blade style or a knife style that I would think would be like geared toward bushcraft particularly. They're more of a hunting knife company. So this is really stainless. I've left blood on it multiple times. Never had any problem. I've just dunked it down in the creek to wash the main blood off, stuck it right back in that leather sheath. Never had any kind of rust or tarnishing get on the knife whatsoever. So S30V is completely stainless. These knives there at Dunn are hollow ground. They grind their knives into hollow ground, which is good for cutting up game, skinning stuff, and all that. So that's the steel they use in the blades. Handles, they have diamond wood in about 7 different colors, and they'll have stag handles on some of them. You can get a stag handle. That's more limited. From what I understand, it's a little bit hard to get stag anymore. This is rosewood colored. It's that kind of red looking. It's diamond wood. It's impervious to water, blood, or anything, and I know that from experience. It's got a little bit of a notch right here for your finger to go in, and the handle tapers from the back to the front in design. Got these pinch points right here. That's good for when you're holding the knife, pinching it that way, or you can cut to the side, or you can choke up on it, leaving your finger in that point, or even go into the notch down here and choke on up. Go into that notch, go all the way to the end if you want to put your finger over the end of the blade. I've never felt like my hand was going to slip up on the knife. It does draw your hand right into this position where you need to be holding the knife because of the way the handle is tapered. But I've never found, even with the lack of what I think is almost a lack of a guard, only a notch, I've never had any problem where I thought, hey, I'm going to be cut on this knife or it's going to slip. Now, talking about fit and finish on this knife, the fit and finish is excellent on these knives. What I mean, this handle really well shaped. Everything matches up exactly to side. Everything's even. This is finished really well here. All the pins are finished really nice. Nothing sticking out there, grabbing. This back of the spine here is rounded. Now that, like I said, this is not made for bushcrafting. It wouldn't strike a ferro rod, but I guess you could sharpen that if you wanted to, but I don't see any reason to do that. It's a hunting knife. So yeah, fit and finish. The only thing I would have a gripe about the fit and finish. Now the knife came to me good, and I've used it the way they brought it. But I'm picky, and I did bring that back. I told on the other video how they started the edge about right there, and went out, just started to grinding the edge there instead of back here by that. So I just moved mine back. I just liked it that way. That's just me. I'm a little bit of a collector and stuff, even though I use all my knives, and I just like the look of it being back here better. This right here is a little higher than it is on this side. Not too noticeably, but just if you're really picky like me, I'd see something like that. Nothing of that is a real criticism or anything that would make the knife less functional than it is, and it's functioned just fine. I know other people have these knives that I've known over the years, and co-workers I've had over the years, and they used them and never had a problem. Now they have several different designs of knives, a couple of fillet knives, and again, as I said before, every bit of that will be in S30V steel. That's their own S30V heat treated right there. So a couple of sizes of fillet knives. They got a knife similar to this that's shorter. This is the big game. It's a 4-inch blade, and it comes there's a knife that matches it that's a semi-skinner with a 4-inch blade, and you can even get them in a set. Then there's a little bit smaller ones that's 3¼ inch blade, pretty much the same designs, a semi-skinner and this, smaller ones. Then they have, if you want to go with a full skinner with no point, they've got a couple of them in a couple of sizes. They've got one called a Predator that's like a bird and trout, kind of a game and bird, with about a 3¾ inch blade. They make a paring knife with a 3-inch blade, and they make a little minker, they call it. It's got about a 2½ inch blade on it, and it's that sharp pointed blade like you'd skin muskrats or mink, and a lot of people like that for a caping knife's what I hear. Anyway, so several designs. I'm going to try to put a link in the description down there so you can go to Dunn and check their knives out and just see for yourself. They also sell sharpening supplies. They'll sell buffing wheels you can put on just a bench grinder, and they sell some diamond rods and different stuff that you can sharpen their S30V on. I have not found it to be overly hard to sharpen. I sharpen it on either a diamond rod, or I have a ceramic rod. I sharpen it on some and get it sharp on that. It holds the edge really well. So go check them out. I think Dunn Knives are worth checking out, and if you like hunting knife or you do a lot of skinning, go check them out. I think they're a worthwhile company.